this week, and it's the end of the second quarter. It's a big week coming up, and we have all the news for you with the stories around the Fed, stocks, and much, much more. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I'm Gav Blacksburg, aka Wolf Financial. I'm here with Evan from Stock Market News. Let's get right into the thick of it with a look at the economic calendar for this week. After that, we are going to walk you through the major catalysts that are on watch. So make sure you stick around for the entirety of the video. Here's what's going on in the beginning part of the week. Obviously, nothing on Monday, but once you get into Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit of stuff around goods. What's standing out to you off the bat here, Evan?
Yeah, so as you mentioned in that intro, we do have Jerome Powell speaking on Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. This is actually going to be a very interesting event. He will be on a panel with European Central Bank President Lagarde, the Bank of England Governor Bailey, and I believe the Bank of Japan, someone from the Bank of Japan as well. So that should be a very interesting summit and discussion with four people who really do kind of control monetary policy across the world. So that will be definitely a big watch. Jerome Powell did speak last week and the week before, and yeah, so markets are kind of tired of listening to him at this point. But this with four people up there, that could be very, very interesting to see. But besides that, that is the big event that I have on watch. We have new home sales, we have a trade balance in goods, and a couple other stuff in the first half of the week. And we also have Powell speaking at 2:30 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. That's a little bit random. Now, he is in Europe, so that's kind of why this is happening. I believe that is a speech with someone from the Bank of Spain. So I probably won't be watching that one, but we'll cover that one after. And then on Friday, we do have another big data point. We have PCE, which is the Fed's preferred inflation index. When they say they want 2% inflation, this is generally what they are talking about. So this is definitely something to keep on watch. Anything else you were watching here, Wolf, or
Nope.
the earnings calendars next?
Yeah, that's perfect. That covers it really nicely. Two Fed Chair Powell speaking moments. We're going to cover those in a little bit more detail as to what he's speaking to and pieces like that. You'll see it on some of the slides that are coming up, and then core PCE. That's going to be a big one as well, and of course, just more Fed speakers as we always have. Not in a blackout period right now, obviously. So let's talk about earnings. They're starting to come back. It is the beginning, the wee early areas of earnings with the big names, of course. Nike's going to take the cake. You might get a little bit of attention towards a couple of others. Are there any like outside of Nike that you're really seriously watching? I guess Manchester United a little bit.
Yeah, Micron's also on there. That is a pretty
Yes.
decent size. So we're still in kind of the off season. Banks will be starting in about 2 to 3 weeks from right now, and that is typically the start to earnings season. But we're gonna get some color around this now. We have Carnival, sorry, ticker CCL going tomorrow morning, and then Micron, Manchester United, Nike will also be on watch. But I know MKC, Rite Aid, a couple others, Constellation Brands on Friday. So we are in the off season, but there's a decent couple names. I even missed Walgreens as well. You can also see kind of what's expected below. The number right below is the EPS expectation, and the number below that is the revenue expectation. So, and you can see before the market open or after the close. But Nike and Micron will be the two big ones that I will be focusing on. I think they're very interesting. Micron will tell us a little bit what's going on in the semiconductor area. And then Nike, I think, is interesting. They give you some good areas on supply chains and how the global kind of community is going. So that will be interesting to see. And then also obviously apparel and stuff in that area. So a couple names to keep on watch there. Should be interesting.
Perfect. Yeah, MU definitely a big one with the way that the semiconductor rage has still held up pretty darn well. All right, we're coming through kind of the real catalyst rundown on the week. There's a few things that are going to matter here, a few that won't. The big one that people were talking about that I was watching for Monday was the Snowflake Summit. This is obviously going to feature Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA. So that's a big deal, right? We'll see how many times he's going to say AI during the fireside chat. They've been getting it in as many times as possible. And then cruise lines, big move expected on CCL, kind of sets the table for some of these other cruise lines that are going to port afterwards, and really puts a bit of a referendum on travel as a whole. Anything else for you on Monday?
No, nothing really else. You guys can pause and see all the events we got going on. We'll rapid fire through these a little bit, but I think on Tuesday the big one is that one at the bottom. The hearing for the FTC's case, Microsoft trying to acquire Activision Blizzard, will continue. Wednesday is a pretty busy day as well. We talked about the Powell event. There's also a Roblox speech and a bunch of other stuff. There's Micron earnings after the close. A good amount of catalysts to watch. Thursday, little bit interesting as well. We have some AMC news. I know people like that, and those Nike earnings should move some stuff. And then I also think Friday should be a decent day. Wolf, we've been talking about this a little bit. Friday is actually the end of Q2. We are now officially, we will be at that point halfway through the year. It's been quite the crazy first half of the year, but I know we like to talk a little bit about some people kind of changing their portfolios or doing whatever they can at the end of the quarter to make sure they're positive, to do whatever they do. 13 Fs will be coming out in about a month and a half at this point. We will see what a lot of hedge funds and institutional investors, what they own, and it will be as of Friday. So they might want to make their portfolio look like something, and that will be interesting to watch. Wolf, you have any thoughts on the end of Q2 and what that kind of might mean?
Yeah, the big thing that I recommend people watch out for is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a series of rebalancing as investors either move to take profit, right? They're going to show those end of quarter numbers to investors. So maybe they want to solidify up some positions. Potentially, they may change sectors if they expect a big sector change going into the summer quarter, right? Maybe they're going to move in or out of travel, look more towards oil, gold, other areas like that. But typically, you don't see that all happen on Friday, but instead, towards the middle portion of the week. So you can get some accelerated moves there. So just something to keep in mind as we move towards quarter end. But yeah, big week with multiple Jerome Powell speeches, restart of earnings, a little bit more semi talk. I'm sure we'll hear plenty about AI. I think we covered it all really, really well. Any final comments before we wrap this one up, Evan?
Yeah, we are doing this. We're going to try and do this every single week going forward. I know we've been a little bit spotty with it, but I think we're just going to keep going forward. I love the addition of the kind of last 5 slides here, this catalyst watch. So shout out to Seeking Alpha on that. Shout out to Savvy Trader for the calendar, and shout out to Market Watch for the economic calendar above that. We will put the links in the description so you can go in and use all of those. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for coming in and listening to these videos. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to be live pretty much on Spaces for everything that we got going on here. So shout out. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, and you will see that.
That's it for us. Thanks everybody for watching. If you want more great ideas and education around finance, go ahead and hit the subscribe and like buttons.